Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over. A new Pokemon rumor has popped up saying that we're not going to be seeing Generation 10 next year. It also goes over some new Legend ZA DLC as well. We have some Nintendo Switch 2 updates to go over, some Pokemon events that have been announced, a lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's quickly go over some new Pokemon events that have been announced. These are all regarding Pokemon Sleep. I know it's not the most exciting Pokemon game out there, but a lot of people do still enjoy it. But either way, we have a couple of updates for it. We've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the next Pokemon Sleep event has been announced. Summer Festival 2025. This adds Farfetch'd into the game, and it runs from the 23rd of June, so 12 days away yet. And that runs from, the 23rd of June through to the 30th of June 2025. You got Farfetch'd, Cramorant, and also Quaxly in the background there. And then as well as that, for Pokemon Sleep, we have this update to go over. Cerebi tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, Pokemon Sleep has reached 1 billion sleep sessions recorded, which is a lot. To celebrate, various items are being given to all players as a gift from now until the 11th of July 2025. I have absolutely no idea what these items are. There's a Pokeball, a Great Ball, I don't know, Reviver Seed or something from Mystery Dungeon. Then we've got like this Blue Pearl. I don't know. I don't play Pokemon Sleep, so that makes no sense to me. But I assume they're pretty good items, and you can claim them from now until the 11th of July. But anyway, that's just a couple of Pokemon Sleep updates to quickly go over. Moving on, I wanted to go over this kind of information for Pokemon Legends ZA. Quite a cool, I guess, spot from PLDH, and then we also have Soul Silverrod talking about something quite similar as well in regards to Emma and Luca and everything for the upcoming Pokemon game. So we've got PLDH here tweeting out saying, Emma's Legends ZA design has her in a brown detective style coat over the Essentia suit. So it's simple yet sweet. It's a way to represent the conclusion of her story in Pokemon X and Y and the post-game and everything, combining Luca and 06 influences into one new purpose and identity, just like she promised. So it's kind of, her design in Pokemon Legends ZA is a combination of both of these kind of quite pivotal characters in her life, being Luca and 06 as well. So hopefully they both kind of pop up in the game as well, because it'd be just more of a story arc to Emma. I feel like Emma's going to be a very big character in this game, whether she's someone that gives us loads of quests or someone that just keeps popping up. Like, in my opinion, she's just trying to solve what is going on in the town, and whether that is Quasartico being evil or whatnot, she's, got that detective hat on and she's trying to work out what's happening. So I think she will pop up quite a lot throughout the story, especially as we get deeper into kind of like the issue going on with Lumiose City. We have Soul Silverrod also talking about this, saying, love this, so much so that I really hope both Luca and 06 are in Pokemon Legends ZA, and maybe they're even part of her arc again, or new arcs for themselves concerning her, seeing as she's on the box/cover art of the game. That's what I mean. There's another reason why she's got to be quite important to the story, because she's on the box art, and the other characters that are on the box art are all equally as important in the game. You've got the leaders of the Quasartico building, Vinny and what's her face? Can't remember her name off the top of my head. It's early in the morning, but yeah, they're standing obviously in the background, looking very menacing. You've got the rival. You've also got, I think there's other characters as well, obviously Emma as well. Like I say, a lot of quite prominent characters on that game cover, so they're all going to be equally as important. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Emma's kind of like story arc is, and seeing if Luca and 06 are also part of that as well. But anyway, just a little bit more of something that you might have missed from the most recent Pokemon Legends ZA information. Moving on, talking about Mega Evolutions, we have a new update regarding the new Mega Evolution set releasing on the 26th of September for this year, but expect pre-release shortages. So if it wasn't already difficult to get Pokemon cards, it's now going to be even more difficult. So check out this article on PokeBeach for all the details. So they said, the Pokemon Company has informed tournament organizers that the first English Mega Evolution set will release on September the 26th. So that's like a couple of weeks before Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. And again, it's another indication of why we should always pay attention to the release dates of these TCG sets, because they always come out around the time of the game. Mega Evolution is clearly there to kind of I guess, promote Legends EA. They kind of go in hand. I'm sure the anime will also benefit from Mega Evolution. I mean, it already has, to be fair, with obviously like Roy's Lucaria and stuff like that. But I'm sure they'll have like a Legends EA arc. But always, man, when this TCG sets come out, it's always a good indication of when the game comes out. And the fact that we kind of knew that this set was going to be coming out around like September, October time, we had an idea that that would mean that Legends EA would be coming out maybe mid-October, early November, and lo and behold, Legends EA is coming out mid-October. But yeah, the Pokemon Company has informed tournament organizers that the first Mega Evolution set will release on September the 26th. We don't know its name yet. Pre-releases will take place from the 13th of September to the 21st of September. Our set will be based on, or this set will be based on Japan's Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. It releases on the 1st of August or 2 months earlier. And then typically our Q3 set releases in August, but the Pokemon Company sometimes pushes it to September if there's a special set releasing beforehand. This allows for more breathing room. In this case, we're getting Black Bolt and White Flare on the 18th of July. Again, this is going to be a very difficult set to get your hands on. It's basically the Unova 151 version. Unfortunately, the Pokemon Company has also informed organizers that pre-release kit allocations may be lower than usual due to continuing product shortages. However, they won't say necessarily be the case for future events. But anyway, I'm not sure if this is just affecting these pre-release events or if it's just affecting the general stock. But they are talking about stock shortages and product shortages, so it looks like it's going to be quite difficult to get your hands on these Mega Evolution cards. It's already difficult anyway. I mean, the Pokemon TCG is just in a really bad place right now with scalping and, as I say, stock shortages and stuff like that. Like, I've still not been able to get any Destined Rival stuff just simply because it's so difficult to kind of grab right now, which is unfortunate because it looks like such a cool set to open. But anyway, that's the sort of TCG update for Pokemon. Coming up next, we have some Nintendo Switch 2 details to go over, and lo and behold, it is one of the best-selling consoles of all time, which we kind of knew was going to be the case anyway. We've got VGC here tweeting out saying Nintendo Switch 2 sold 3.5 million units globally in its first 4 days on sale, the company said, making it the fastest-selling Nintendo system ever and likely the biggest ever console launch. So it's absolutely smashed expectations. Like, they knew it was going to do well, but 3.5 million consoles in 4 days is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's only going to get bigger and better. Obviously, you got Christmas coming up, obviously not straight away, but people are going to be waiting until games come out. I think if we get a new Nintendo Direct soon, then and they drop some like new game announcements in that, it's going to make people buy the console even more, because as of right now, the only kind of exclusives to get for the Nintendo Switch 2 are Donkey Kong Bonanza, which isn't even out yet, obviously Mario Kart World, and then you have the, I guess, upgrades to some Switch games. Then you got the GameCube thing as well. It's not really a lot that it's offering, whereas when more games get announced, everybody's going to jump on it. Like, some people are waiting until Legends EA comes out, some people are going to wait until Gen 10 comes out, and that's just the Pokemon side of things. You know, there might be people waiting until a new Zelda game comes out or a new 3D Mario game comes out, yada yada yada. Anyway, Nintendo Switch 2 sold 3.5 million units globally in its first 4 days on sale, the company said, making it the fastest selling Nintendo system ever and likely the biggest ever console launch. So fans around the world are showing their enthusiasm for Nintendo Switch 2 as an upgraded way to play at home and on the go, said Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser in a prepared statement. We are thankful for their response and happy to see the fun they are already having with Nintendo Switch 2 as they explore new features and games that bring friends and family together in new ways. In comparison, PlayStation 5 shipped, not sold, 3.5 million units in its first 4 weeks on sale, and 4.5 million in its first 7 weeks, though Sony's console suffered from significant stock shortages. The huge start for Switch 2 will give Nintendo a boost in reaching its target of 15 million units for its first business year, which is already nearly done, a third of, which is absolutely wild. Or even beating this number, which many analysts predict the console will do. If the Nintendo Switch 2 surpasses 15 million units in its opening year, it will beat what the original Switch managed. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 launched later in the year and sold 7.5 million units each, with the latter suffering stock issues due to the pandemic. Nintendo Switch 2 released on June the 5th, alongside Mario Kart World and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, as well as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, yada yada yada. The Tokyo-based game industry consultancy Kantan Games told VGC that Nintendo now needs to follow up its launch success with more blockbusters in the lead up to Christmas. Can anybody in the industry be surprised about this number? Expectations have always been sky high for the launch, and Nintendo delivered. What is absolutely critical for Nintendo now is to build momentum through the end of the year and the holidays, especially now that GTA 6 is out of the way for 2025. The level of third-party support is great and like night and day when compared to the launch of the original Switch, but now Nintendo needs to follow with their own blockbusters. Like I say, we are expecting a Nintendo Direct this month. It might have already been announced by the time this video goes up, I don't know, but if it hasn't, we are expecting it, and within that Direct, you know, there's release dates they need to drop, but as well as that, there's some new games that they also need to announce as well. If they drop like a 3D Mario or an Animal Crossing or something like that, it's just going to absolutely skyrocket this console. But anyway, good news for Nintendo. Yeah, it's absolutely smashing it. Finishing things off for today's video though, we have a new rumor that's popped up on 4chan. This was posted on the 10th of June, so yesterday, and it's titled Gaia won't be out next year. So this is already very much going against what we all expect to happen. We're expecting Generation 10 to be announced in February 2026 for Pokemon Day, and then it's going to drop November. It's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. It's going to be the best Pokemon game of all time. That's kind of what we're expecting. But this person here is saying that it will not be out next year, which just makes absolutely no sense because it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. They're going to want a big Pokemon game to come out. But they're saying Gen 10 won't be out by 2026. Instead, it will be teased. Don't expect any news or starters next year. It will release in 2027 instead. So what they are saying is there's going to be no news, no starters. It's going to get teased. I don't know how they could tease the Generation 10 game without showing news about it, but either way, maybe a little bit like Legends ZA, because I guess they teased that without showing any information, and we got no information about it for a whole year, so they could follow that again. But yeah, they're saying it's going to release in 2027 instead, which would be the 31st anniversary of Pokemon, which just doesn't really hit as much as the 30th anniversary. But then they have some Legends ZA stuff as well. So Zeraora is a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle bonus for Legends ZA. So this means that I assume they'd be making a Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. And if you get that, you get Zeraora, which just is a bit stupid. Like, they're just paywalling Zeraora behind the console. I also highly doubt there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 version for Legends ZA in terms of like an actual console. If anything, they're probably going to do it for Generation 10 like they did for Generation 9. They could do it, but I feel like they would have announced it by now. With like the release date and everything for the Nintendo Switch 2. I just don't think they're going to drop a console exclusively, you know, based on the Legends game. And then it says Legends ZA will receive Hoenn and Alola based DLC in 2026. Again, it just doesn't really make sense. Like, why would be? I mean, Hoenn makes sense, I guess. I mean, both of these regions make sense in the fact that you can Mega Evolve in both of these regions, and then there are the other Mega Evolution regions as well, I think, off the top of my head. But at the same time, we can only go to one city in Legends ZA, and then they're saying that we can go to Hoenn and Alola for just DLC. Would that not be bigger areas for the DLC, which just doesn't really make sense? Also, DLC for the 2026 year of the 30th anniversary of Pokemon just doesn't, it's just not big enough. It needs something massive like Generation 10 to really go in on this 30th anniversary. We are potentially getting DLC for this game. You know, we were supposed to originally get Legends ZA DLC this month. The game was supposed to be coming out last year. We're going to get DLC this month, and that was legitimately supposed to happen. That was from the Terra Leak and stuff. Obviously, the game got pushed back, so whether we get that DLC is scrapped or not, who knows? There's only like kind of a finite amount of time where they can drop that. Maybe they've pushed the release date forward a bit because they do have DLC coming out in like January or something. I don't know. It might get announced in July, and this presents is very unlikely. But yeah, it's very interesting as to why, you know, the release date is a little bit, I guess, earlier than usual and stuff, and we were supposed to get DLC. It says there is no Southern Kalos content at all. I don't know who started that rumor. It is untrue. So yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, the whole Paldea thing I'd expect. And it says Pokemon Champions releases May 2026. Pokemon trained in the main series games can be used in Champions. They cannot be modified. Moves and items are determined based on what game they came from. So, I don't know, I feel like if it's a big competitive game, you should be able to modify to an extent moves and stuff. Like, it's very easy to modify moves in, like, Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So why would you not be able to modify these moves in a literal battle game? The information is saved in the game, and you can freely select which style of Pokemon you can use. It is simply just a battle simulator. There is no story aspect. Even though there are ways to obtain Pokemon in this game, which they've already confirmed. No, VGC does not take place in Champions. I don't know who started that rumor up, especially since the Pokemon are very limited. So what they're saying here is, you know, there's the idea that Pokemon Champions becomes the main kind of competitive hub, which I still think it will be. It looks like, why else would they make it? You know, otherwise they just always put these big competitive kind of VGC things in the latest Pokemon game. Whereas instead of having to wait like 3-4 years for the new generation every time, they can just constantly update champions, and they'll always have that battle kind of situation ready and up to date with the latest Pokemon, the latest moves, the latest abilities, everything like that. Whereas, you know, for a game like Scarlet and Violet, where you can't even have every single Pokemon, I feel like Champions is going to eventually have every single Pokemon in it, and it's just going to be like this big sort of battle thing. And as well as that, you can play it on the Nintendo Switch, you can play it on your phone. Like, there's multiple ways to kind of get into the battle sense. And also, it doesn't need to be on anything for it to like do its job. You know, you can easily play it on your phone. It's not like they'd have any disadvantages against someone that play on the Switch or something. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this just completely goes against everything that we're expecting. If this is true, I'd be very upset. It makes absolutely no sense why they'd push Gen 10 to 2027. A Switch 2 bundle for ZA with a bonus of Zeraora. Hoenn and Alola themed DLC in 2026. It just doesn't make sense. I'm calling it fake. Let me know your thoughts on it though. Obviously take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, it's very, very likely fake. But let me know your thoughts on that, and then also everything else that we covered, the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, the Mega Evolution TCG. Best of luck trying to get that, because it's going to be an absolute, I don't know, just fight trying to get everything. What are your thoughts on the Emma situation as well? Do you think that Looker and Xerosic are going to be in the game? But yeah, that's everything from me. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. It does really help out. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.